Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Pet Brand Podcast. I'm your host Warneth, and today we have a truly special guest, Chloe Fabiani, the visionary founder of Paw.co. Chloe has made it her mission to transform the pet adoption process by combining technology with compassion. Through Paw.co, she's using AI to match potential pet parent with shelter animals, helping countless dogs and cats find their forever homes. With a deep commitment to supporting shelters and rescues in France, Chloe's work is changing the lives of both animals and adopters. We are thrilled to have her on the show today to talk about her journey, the challenges and rewards of running Paw.co, and her vision for the future of pet adoption. Chloe, welcome to the Pet Brand Podcast. We are so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm super happy to be there too.
Amazing, amazing. So yeah, Chloe, let's just take us back to the beginning. What inspired you to create Paw.co?
Yeah. Okay. I love animals forever. When I was a child, I had a dog, and it was more my brothers and my dog. And then I my first intern. Sorry,
No problem.
my
I will
my
trim it down. Yeah.
I cut everything. My first internship was with a vet.
Mhm.
So I always knew that I wanted to work in this area, but I started my career in marketing, advertising companies. Like I work for Havas and Canal Plus. And
Mhm.
then I created my first company when I was in college. It was a brand content agency. So I was making video strategy marketing for
Yeah.
startups.
Yes. Mhm.
And then I get chased on LinkedIn by a fund investment in Paris. And I start working for this fund. I was advising startups on their strategy marketing, branding strategy.
Yeah, yeah,
And I was also managing the communication of the fund.
yeah.
And I was working with so many inspiring founders. And I realized one thing: the common point between all these founders was that they were passionate about their product.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I thought, okay, I'm a founder. I want to be a founder again, but I need to think about something I'm passionate
Yeah.
about.
Mhm.
So I start doing some research in the pet ecosystem in France, in Europe,
Mhm.
and I discovered that France is the country that abandons the most animals in Europe,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Mhm.
And the half of these pets are euthanized
Mhm.
because there is not space enough in
Yeah,
shelters.
yeah, yeah. Mhm.
So that's why I created PO, to connect people with
Mhm.
shelters and to facilitate the
Mhm.
adoption of these
Mhm.
abandoned animals.
Mhm. So what kind of challenges or gaps did you notice in the pet adoption industry?
The challenge when I launched PO, the first one was to onboard the shelters. For
Mhm.
example, in France, there is 4,000 independent shelters.
Yeah.
So we had to contact them, each
Mhm.
of them. Today, we have nearly 2,000 shelters on PO.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was also to help them to get digitalized
Okay.
because some
Mhm.
of them are on the countryside of France,
Yeah, yeah.
not really used to like uh,
Social media and anything. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So,
Mhm.
so that was one of the biggest challenge we faced. After on the global market, that's my opinion. But I think people today are buying dogs and cats
Mhm.
in pet shop and in
Yeah, yeah.
breeders.
From breeders. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, because it's trendy and
Mhm.
because the pets are cute.
Mhm.
But today what we want, what we ask to a pet when we adopt him. The
Mhm.
first quality is to be friendly. We used to have breed dogs like years ago to take care of the sheep, to
Yeah,
help
yeah.
with like a special utility.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
today we just need a pet to be friendly.
Yeah,
So I try,
companionship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I try to whisper. We want to create a cool brand around adoption to make the adoption trendy too.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
that's that's our biggest challenge today. Change habits, change mentality,
Yeah. Mhm.
make the adoption
Basically
trend.
change the perception around the people regarding the adoption, because I think a lot of people see adoption as is like, okay, we are just helping this pet instead of like, making that pet being a part of their life, right? And yeah, definitely that's an amazing job you're doing.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, and I will give you some numbers. On
Mm.
par, one third of the pets they have less than 1 year.
Oh God.
One fourth of the pets are pure breed. So if you want a baby, if you want a pure breed dog or cat, you
Mhm.
can find it on shelters.
Wow. Hmm. Amazing, amazing. And you are definitely leveraging AI to connect people with pets, right? So how does AI enhance the whole adoption process?
Yeah, so basically, we collect data on the pets.
Mm,
So when the shelter gets registered, you're
mm,
gonna put all the data that he has on about the pets.
mm-hmm.
Um, then with this data, we can match the pet profile with the future adopter profile. So when you go on paw.co, when you want to adopt a pet, you
Mm-hmm.
answer to some question. If you live in a flat or in a house, if you have children, if you already have a pet, if you want
Okay.
to exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And we connect your information to the best pet for you.
Okay. 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 And it is like all done by AI.
Exactly.
Amazing, amazing. So let's just say if somebody is listen to this podcast and they want to adopt a pet through paw.co, right? So what will be the whole process will look like for them from the start to the finish, from just writing the information and to the like end process, taking the pet to the home.
So, as I say, you go on paw.co, it's
Hmm.
paaw.co,
Yeah, yeah.
and you're gonna answer to some question, and then you have different pets recommended for you,
Mhm.
and you can go on the pet profile. You will see many information, how old they are, information about their health, if they are vaccinated, sterilized, and then you can contact directly the shelter
Okay.
if
Hmm.
you want more information, if you want to meet the pets,
Hmm.
because you will have to meet the dog, the cat, the rabbit, whatever, you will have to meet him
Yeah, yeah.
because it's a living being. So you cannot like order a pet like you order a bag or shoes online. So
Yeah.
yeah, you go like you send a message to the shelters and
Mhm.
then the shelters has a final decision if you will adopt the pet or not.
Mhm. And what are the some of the common questions or concern people have before adopting a pet, and how does Paw address them?
So the first question will be, is this pet traumatized?
Mm-hmm.
What's his behavior?
Mm-hmm.
And actually, the shelters can answer that because when a shelter take a pet, let's say take a dog,
Mm-hmm.
gonna watch him for a few weeks, for a few months, gonna watch his behavior. So it could tell you if this pet is adapt to your lifestyle, if you have children, if you live in a
Okay.
flat.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that's the first fear, let's say, to adopt a pet in a shelter, but you will have all the information before adopting or
Yeah.
not the
Yeah.
pet.
Mm-hmm. Amazing, amazing. And could you could you share a memorable adopter pet match story that came through Paw, somewhere you connected an amazing person with a pet.
Yeah, I'm thinking about a girl named Mathilde.
Mhm,
She was looking for a very specific pet, a breed dog, a baby, a small one.
mhm,
And she found this dog on Paw, but he was on a French island in Caribbean.
mhm, Oh,
But
okay. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and but they actually the rescue bring the dog in France, so he traveled by plane, and now he's super happy with Mathilde, her husband, her son, and
Mm-hmm.
her horsey and a horse. She has a horse too. So the dog live his best life now.
Wow, amazing, amazing. And what happens is someone isn't selected to adopt a pet. So is there any situation like that?
Yeah, you just
And
yeah.
so why some people are not selected to do that, like to adopt a pet?
Depends. So I'm not a shelter
Uh-huh.
or a rescue. So I don't know. It depends of the situation. There is like 100 reasons for
Uh-huh.
that.
Uh-huh.
Depends of where you live. For example, if you want to adopt a big dog and you
Mm-hmm.
live in a small flat, the
Yeah.
shelter will say, no, the dog will not be happy in your
Mm-hmm.
flat, especially if you work 10 hours per day, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Depends really of the situation. Also, some cats, for example, can be like scared of children. So the shelter will say, no, 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 these cats would be better like with one single woman,
Mm-hmm.
in her Parisian flat or New
Mm-hmm.
York flat. So
Yeah.
depends of the situation. There is many reasons,
Mm-hmm.
like I think it's better to like if the shelter give you an answer and the answer is no, it's for a good reason.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's for for the pet too, and for the person who is adopting to it.
Exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Because they work like people that work in shelters, they
Mm-hmm.
know what they are doing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if they feel it's not gonna be a match, it's because maybe the pets and the human they will not be happy together.
Mhm. And I'm just curious, like what criteria does PAW use to verify shelters and association before listing them on the platform?
Yeah, so the French shelters and rescues they have RNA number. So it's a number and
Uh-huh.
that you can verify in an open database in France. So we
Okay.
verify this number.
Mhm. Okay, that's how you list them on your platform.
Exactly.
Amazing, amazing. Wait, has there been a pet that you personally adopted or fell in love with through animal through PAW?
Sorry.
Has there any pet that you personally adopted or fell in love with through PAW?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I I got catched by a cat on the platform.
Uh-huh.
I so I thought, okay, maybe I can keep him for 2 or 3 weeks, waiting for him to be adopted. And
Uh-huh.
now it's my cat for 2 years.
Okay. What's the name?
It's Oscar.
Oscar. Amazing, amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
uh,
I didn't want to actually. I didn't want when I started PAR. I always loved animals, but I didn't want to have a pet because I travel a lot.
mhm. Yeah.
We launched the platform in the US last year.
Hmm.
So I'm between France, the US, and I have my family in the south of France. So
Okay.
like every few months I'm traveling.
Hmm.
So I didn't want to, but now actually I adapted my life.
Hmm.
And my cat is traveling with me everywhere.
Hmm. And how's the business going on in the US?
So we just launched a few months ago.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, we started to onboard shelters.
Hmm.
So now we are preparing the big launch in January.
Amazing. And what has been the most rewarding part of running PAW for you personally so far?
Mhm. It was there were many steps. So the first one, when I had the idea, I posted a video on LinkedIn to say that I wanted to create a pet adoption platform. And I
Okay.
was
And when
looking
was
for
it? Which
4 years ago.
4 years ago. Okay.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
I asked if some developers would help me to develop an MVP.
Mhm.
this video got viral, and I received hundreds email from developers from all over the world
Yeah,
who
yeah.
wanted to help me to test this
Mm,
project. So that
mhm,
was first like something that bring me a lot of energy and confidence to
mhm.
launch this project.
Yeah, yeah,
Then when we finally launched the website and we start onboarding the first shelters, that
yeah.
was so super rewarding because the product was working and the shelters were happy of this product.
Mhm.
And then finally, our North Star is when we made the first adoption through PO.
Okay, amazing,
Yeah.
amazing.
And
Mhm.
today we made more than 16,000 adoption.
Wow, that's amazing.
So that's a big
Mhm.
reward. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And how does the finances work? Like, how does Paw make money through this, and how does like collaborate with shelter? Do they make money? Like, how does the finances work?
Yeah. So it's free for the shelters.
Okay. Hmm.
We are here to help them and to facilitate the adoption. So
Hmm.
we are generating revenue with
Hmm.
brands in
Okay.
B2B,
Hmm.
uh, pet food brand, pet insurance, who wants to communicate at the beginning of the process of the adoption to
Okay.
acquire new customer where we are. So we have space on our website. We send newsletter to our
Okay.
community.
Hmm.
We made some operation marketing to promote brands, our community.
Amazing, amazing. And what feedback have you received so far from adopters who have used Paw to get a pet, to adopt a pet?
And we receive message like every day on
Oh.
Instagram on to say thank you.
Mhm.
Thanks to Pro, I adopted my dog or my cat and I'm super happy.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Mhm.
that's rewarding.
Is there any situation when somebody went through paw and adopted a pet and the relationship didn't work out with the pet? So like what happens after? Is that something that paw handles?
Surely, but I never received an email like that yet.
Uh-huh.
But maybe I tell you, we never received an email like that until now.
Wow. And it's been 4 years.
Yeah. Now we launched the website in January 22.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So yeah, we did some tests with an MVP, and then we raised funds
Hmm.
and we launched a not an MVP, like a better website
Hmm.
to start onboarding the shelters because we grew super fast. We onboarded nearly 2,000 shelters. We started in January 22, so 3 years ago.
Okay. Okay. Amazing. Amazing. And looking ahead, what new features or expansions are in the work for paw?
New features are coming.
Hmm.
So actually, we're gonna launch next week
Okay.
a new feature. So we received some message from users.
Hmm.
Sometimes because people who are working in shelters, they're super busy.
Hmm.
The shelters are overcrowded, they're overwhelmed. So they take time to answer when they receive a request for adoption. So we're gonna launch a features. If the user wants a fast answer, he can pay.
Okay.
If the shelter answer in 3 days, the shelters get paid too.
Okay. 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 So that this is what you're going to launch in next week.
Exactly.
Amazing. And do you have any plans like you said that you are expanding to now you are working on the US too, right? So is there any other region that you are planning to expand besides France and US?
The goal is to be the first pet adoption platform in the world
Mm-hmm.
and change how we adopt pets.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, first let's focus on the US because it's a big market. And
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, of course, our website is available in Spanish too today. So it's
Yeah.
available in French, in English, and in Spanish. So yeah, we plan to launch in the next years
Mm-hmm.
in different countries, especially Spanish country.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. And what advice would you, if somebody is listening to this podcast and they are pet entrepreneur, so what advice would you give to other entrepreneur interested in starting a pet-centric business?
First, to meet other entrepreneurs. When I started Po, I contacted on LinkedIn different
Yeah.
entrepreneurs
Yeah.
that I was following, just to have a call or a coffee to
Mm-hmm.
get inspired, to get motivated,
Mm-hmm.
and to see that it's possible to actually start with just an idea and to do something. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, you can be scared, like, okay, I have an idea, but I don't know if it's going to work or if I can do it. But just if you want to see if you can do it, just do it. Just start and you will see.
Mhm. Definitely, definitely. And the last question from my end, what is the ultimate vision that you hold for Paw, and where do you see it in the next 5 years?
So I really want to change the way people adopt pets in the world.
Hmm.
I want to create an habit to go
Yeah.
on paw.co if you want a pet.
Hmm.
So we have some plans how to do that. So first we continue the launch in the US and we'll communicate a
Hmm.
lot aggressively.
Hmm.
And we're gonna continue to onboard shelters all over the world. And let's see what's happened. But we are a team of passionate people and very motivated.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Chloe, for joining us today on the Pet Brand
Thank you.
Podcast. It's been incredible hearing about the work you're doing at Paw.co and how you're using AI to make pet adoption a more seamless and meaningful experience. To all our listeners who, if you're considering adopting a furry friend or want to support a shelter in need, be sure to check out paw.co and see how you can get involved. Whether you're looking for your next pet or looking to make a donation, Paw is making a real difference in the lives of animals across France and now in the US. So thank you so much, Chloe. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Varnit. Thank you for the invitation.
Amazing. And this podcast will be available on YouTube, Spotify, and my team will be creating short form content of this, and it will be also on LinkedIn. All right.
Perfect. Okay.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. Bye.
Bye.